Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to our Team Tuesday, this week with Ludmila Reyter. Hi Ludmila, welcome back.
Hi Vasco, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Enjoying the fall weather here in Helsinki. It's not freezing yet, so that's good. Probably when this episode goes live, it's already freezing, but not now, so that's good. So Ludmila, on Tuesdays we talk about teams, but before we dive into that, share with us, what's the book that most influenced you in your career as a Scrum Master and why?
Well, actually, a couple of books came to mind, but I will just mention maybe two and then talk about another one. The first definitely was Scrum Mastery by Geoff Watts. Basically, because as I said before, we were learning on the job. And this book just gave me a little bit of guidance, or all of us, a lot of guidance about what this role could actually look like, because we have never actually seen a Scrum Master in action before. And so this guided me really well. I also enjoyed Coach's Casebook. There was a bit more about how coaches can also work together or work in a one-on-one situation. So we were actually with the team of Scrum Masters setting up a book club in my old company because we wanted to test ways of learning within the organization. We said, okay, we're going to have this book club. We will read one book chapter by chapter each week, or only one person reads it and shares a chapter or summary, and we have some discussions. And then we read Agile Coaching by Lyssa Adkins. And I remember that when I read it, I was not agreeing with all of the things that she wrote. And I know also that some of my teammates had really almost allergic reactions to this book because they thought it too, what was the word? I can't really remember, but a little bit too esoteric for them. However, we had really great discussions because of it. So we shared a lot of different viewpoints, and it was really enjoyable then afterwards to coming back to this book and to actually remember how we actually worked on that. And this was, I think, really, really valuable. And I also really liked, she also shared some good examples of exercises. And there's like one exercise, I think at the end, where she is drawing her Agile coaching career path in retrospect and looks at the ups and downs. It's just like an histogram. And she looks at the different jobs and the different kind of successes or not so good times that she had. And just seeing this prepared me for knowing that there might be ups and downs, and this is going to be a dance, and somehow made me really calm in a sense about this role as well. Yes, so these were maybe more the subject literature, but it also comes to mind as I really like to read sports biographies or people who are in a team before or really good in some sports, and then share kind of how they deal with these ups and downs, because it's on a court or wherever these people play, it's also a different pressure, but also really good comparison to, I think, working in our teams before.
Yeah, also because coaches and Scrum Masters always have this performance pressure every day, right? Because we're there to help others and we're being judged by the work we do with them.
Yes, exactly. And so I also have a lot of experience in playing in teams before, as you said in the beginning, that I played basketball. And I draw so much input from my experience with these teams, how people work together, how you communicate together. And some of the things just fit perfectly with the teams that I work with then on my job. And so I think this is a good symbiosis.
Absolutely. And while we're on the topic of teams, we actually want to talk about teams and how sometimes they develop these patterns, these behaviors that lead to problems. So, Ludmila, tell us the story of a team that you work with. Could be a sports team, of course, it could also be a software team, but walk us through the steps, the slow growth of that anti-pattern or, behavior problem that started to happen in the team.
Mm. So I saw actually also in different teams the patterns of being really unhappy and frustrated by the things that are actually happen in the environment. So not necessarily within the teams themselves, but when something is not working out with the leadership, the organization, what else is around them, and it kind of slowly creeps into the team's dynamics because they're just not able to change the things in a way that they want to. So I was, as I told before, observing two teams in this first job here in Berlin, and in the first team, I think the product owner was also So the product owner was also the team lead of the team. They sat in one office, and also this product owner got a lot of pressure from his manager, and somehow needed to not putting this pressure onto his team, but at the same time, because they were also sitting in this really tight corner, of course, the team realized really where this pressure came from. And also this person, unfortunately, got into a pattern of being really cynical about what they need to do now and then, and how everything is quite complicated. And so the team also took this on and became less motivated, of course, because this was the role modeling that they observed every day. And also a second team, when I now think about it, that I played basketball with, or got into this kind of anti-team patterns of really frustration and then not talking to each other anymore. When there were problems also with the leadership in the team, whether it's the coach or the captain, if they are not on track or if they are not communicating well with each other, and you just don't know, okay, why am I actually here, or for whom am I doing this? Yeah. So I haven't really seen teams just out from themselves getting into anti-patterns yet, which I'm really happy about.
And one of the things that we can take from that story that you just shared is that, first, the environment is relevant in the development of the team's behavior, in this case, a person or a team member's behavior. And then the second is that it's not really only about the teams as a group, but it is about the interaction between the team members. And,
Yeah.
and if we take these two aspects, like the environment affecting the team members and then the team members affecting the team itself and its development, we actually start to create what I would call kind of a systemic view, right? It's not one relationship. It's not a team member and the team. It's the environment and the team. It's the environment and the team members. And of course, every team member and the team. And for me, I think that story is a great reminder that as Scrum Masters, we should never look only at one person or only one team. We should ask ourselves, like, what's around?
Yeah.
What's influencing these people and what's influencing the team that comes from the outside?
Exactly.
So when you think about this case and, a person being cynical is something that happens a lot, especially in analytically mindset people like engineers, right? They start to see patterns and then, they get discouraged or they resign and they start to be cynical about what's going on. Like when you go back to that story, did you learn something? Did you get some insights on how to work with people that are kind of stuck in that cynical anti-pattern?
What I started with is just having really regular conversations about, well, actually everything in general. Not really starting with being always pointing out what's going wrong, to not kind of put more oil into the fire, but to just work with the persons and see where they are actually stuck. So I think this is also a sensible subject to see. When I come in with the Scrum Master role, people already have some expectations or some views in their mind, what I will now be doing or how I probably are going to behave. And I encountered that a lot, that people didn't see beyond that. They just saw my role. And because of this, they had already some either positive or also negative then reactions to me. So what I just wanted to do with that person was, okay, we sit down, we just like talk a lot, create a bond, create a relationship, helping them also structure their work, just to try to find out where the fountain of the cynicism is coming from. I don't have a best practice for that though, because I think everyone is different and everyone also reacts to different things at the same at another rate. Because also what I said before, I kind of had a feeling that I know how to build this rapport with people, this relationship. But I mean, everyone is different, and sometimes things that work out with one person just don't work in another environment or with other persons. Everyone has their own belief system, and there's sometimes are things that are not that obvious to find out.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful that individuals react differently to many different things.
Yeah.
It's been a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Ludmila. Great insights.
Thanks.
Tuesday is Team Day here on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. But tomorrow we talk about something that goes beyond the work we do with the teams. We will talk about how to lead change and what our guests have learned from leading and participating in change programs during their career. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.